Hello, good morning, and welcome back to Floramancer Season 2. Hope you're all having a good day. I woke up on the right side of the bed, I think. I'm feeling pretty awake. We'll see how the day goes on. But yeah, we're here in the Floramancer world, and I'm going to do as I always do on Saturday morning streams, is first show you what I've done during the week. And it's a lot and it's a little at the same time. Hi, Cartoon God. You so awesome. Good morning to you too. Anyway, I did a lot of little grindy things, but I also didn't do a lot of grindy things. And I'm gonna just lay it out here for you. I made a decent amount of hydrangeas and endoflames, and I made a couple of Rosa Arcanas. Okay, so they're gonna run for approximately 2 hours. I just started them before I went live, so we will have to make them again in the middle of the stream if I decide to do more than a 2-hour stream. But 2 hours is always my minimum for a stream. I also AFK'd at this mob farm for 3 30 level cycles. So I always AFK until I get to level 30, then dump my levels and come back. So I did that 3 times. I got a decent amount of ender pearls, in my opinion, enough that I was able to do the mana distribution to make the augments that we needed to go that way. So there is mana now over at the cobble gen. Okay. So I was able to do that. So I ground out the resources, all the living rock and the mana steel, which we're almost out of again. But I was able to get the mana pool line over here. And so, yep, there's augment here, and there are augments on the pump setup here and here. So I had to make 5 or 6 augments. So that's where the ender pearls came in. Then it comes to over here, and then this one is what fills up these. I took the augments and sparks off of them because I decided I really didn't need these to be full at this point. Just this one making the cobblestone. I did not AFK to make cobblestone, so that is something that I went, oops, yeah. Gee, I should have done that because we only have like 4 stacks of cobblestone and we're gonna need a lot of cobblestone. But I did that during the week. I currently have this mob farm turned on with a Rosa, so we're getting some mana and drops. Maybe we'll get an Enderman. We weren't very lucky last stream, so we'll see. The roof is back on this one, so there are mobs inside there. I'm not ready to tear that down because it's been reliable at getting me ender pearls at this point. And I don't have a way to the end just yet. So that's kind of like, if I tore this down and was not getting any endermen from this, we'd be screwed. I'd have to rebuild this. Yeah. So there's that. And then the other thing I told you that I was going to do is to lay out the platform for the farm that I showed you I was starting to make in creative. And there it is. That's the first layer. I will need to go down underneath to place a little platform for some redstone. But obviously we'll get to that in a bit. But this is the first layer of our farm. And I'm going to show you in creative, I built up the whole farm so that we can know how many layers it's going to do and how many drums we need and so on and so forth. So I will be showing you that in just a moment. But this is 180 farm spots on this one layer. So, woo! Yeah, baby! Okay. So that's where that is going to be. I have no idea what kind of design or anything that I'm going to do for it. This pole here is to indicate how tall I can make the farm. The jungle wood block is where the hopper hawk can sit inside the farm, so that I would only need 1 hopper hawk to pick all of the drops up. All of the things that are harvested in this entire farm that can go that high can be picked up by 1 hopper hawk. So conservation of resources. And yeah. let's see. I think that's all I've done. I mean, I did it, you know, I made the flowers. We're going to need to make more flowers, but, you know, that's kind of the way of it. I did do some bulk crafting for some runes, so I have the tier 1 runes I made. I made at least 5 of each, and I also filled up their supply spots a little bit so that if we need them in the future, they're already here ready for us to go. I do need to fill this up a little bit more. Haven't done that yet. Okay. If we go over here where our mob farm is, you will see how many ender pearls. Now, when we logged off on Sunday, we had 13 or 14 ender pearls. We now have 19. That's in, you know, then of course I've used like 5 or 6 of them for the pixie dust I needed for the augments, and I've also used 5 for the mana runes. I've made 5 Rosa Arcana, so we need mana runes for the Rosa Arcana. So we have enough mana Rosa Arcanas to run here while we're streaming. So yeah. Woo! So, how about we switch over to the creative world and I show you the mega-sized Britannia farm that will do any crops that we possibly might need. Because again, Britannia and Quark add dispenser planting capability to saplings, all vanilla crops, netherwort, chorus flowers, which we won't be able to use for this farm, and vanilla flowers, which I'm not quite sure why we'd need to place vanilla flowers, but there you go. So let's switch over and take a look at what I worked on in my creative world. This is what you're excited to see, Anima. This right here. Now, I only planted select sections because I have to manually do that. But here it is. I built it up. It is 5 layers. So do the math in your head. 180 farm spots on each layer. Because it's 18 here and there's 10 sections. So that's 180 times 5. 5 layers. It's 900 crops, Anima. It's 900 farm spaces. So I could have, if this were all potatoes, I could have like almost 1,000 potatoes each time I harvested, which will rock if you remember what we need to do for this guy. He takes that many tiny potatoes. Yeah, so that'll be awesome if we ever do that. Hi, Dem. Nice to see you. All right, so how this works, and I've got crops in certain spots so you can see it in action, but we're going to explain first what it does, and then I'll hit the button. So we've got them growing, and we want to harvest them. Granted, as you can see, not all these are fully grown. It's okay, this is just for testing purposes. What it's going to do is an hourglass is going to trigger this block, which has a pulse mana spreader on it. That pulse mana spreader has a lens that is Phantom Messenger. Phantom meaning it will go through blocks, so it will go through these drums. Messenger meaning it will go faster and send a small, teeny tiny amount of mana. Messenger is just meant to send messages, essentially. It's not meant to do any other sort of work. Now, I wasn't sure how far that would go. So we're going to come over here. This pulse mana spreader has that same lens on it. And that is how many Drum of the Wilds it will go through before it runs out of mana. This is like 30? 32? It's a lot. A lot. So that's insane. Anyway. I was like, how am I gonna have enough? Yeah, I have plenty. All right, so next calculation I want you to try to do. If this farm has 900 crops and we're lucky to have every single crop fully grown when we go to harvest, how many Drum of the Wilds do we need to harvest the entire farm? A Drum of the Wild will harvest up to 32 crops with one pulse. You're going to come up with 28 and change. I did that in your PC. Yeah, 28 and change. So I have 28. I didn't do the little bit. That's not going to be a big deal. I could do 29, but see, we know we can do it. I might in the main world do 29, but I knew it was 28 and a tiny amount, like a couple of crops that wouldn't get harvested. Anyway, so this pulse will go straight down through the farm. The range this way is enough, plenty. And yes, the range of a drum is 25 by 25 by 7. So it will cover this whole area without issue. Yeah. Because this is smaller than 25 by 25 simply because the Hopper Hawk range is smaller. No, I only need the one drum tower. One drum tower. And so my mana pulse will go through this whole drum line. And again, I need one more. So I'm probably going to put it here. I could put it up here, but I don't want to make this too much taller. So I'll probably lower the platform under the farm. Again, the range is 7. So if I put it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this will be 5 in the range, so we'll be fine. That last drum will still affect the farm. All right, so there we go. So far, you've seen, this is how we're harvesting. We're harvesting with the drums, and now we need to replant. And we're going to use the force relays to replant. And I don't have this as compact redstone because I thought I would need way more force relay setups, but I don't. Because I tested how much bouncing around, and this is insanity for me. I just think it's insane. So I really won't need all of this stuff. I will be able to put the pool here, a pull spreader here, and a pull spreader there, and not need any of the repeaters in redstone. Yeah, really. So what is in here is a messenger warp lens. Messenger again for the really fast, very tiny amount of mana usage. And then warp because it is a force relay that we're trying to bend things through. Because we need to use that when we want to bend mana around. What this is going to do, and I only need these 2. One will do this side of the farm, and one will do this side of the farm. And since I have a monocle on, you'll be able to see the mana pulses. Are we ready to watch this? So excited. Anyway, let's do it. Now I only put crops on the top and the bottom so that you can actually, I mean, if it's going to do the top and bottom, it'll do the middle too. But this will be fun. This will be fun. Ready? And you can watch it. It's zigzagging around. And there we go. They're all replanted. That's so cool. This is too high up. Or this is, why aren't you being picked up here? Oh yeah, this one is too high up. But eventually we're not going to have spaces on top here where the redstone is, so we won't have that problem. This farm is upgradable to be used with Corporea without a whole lot of changes. which was the point for this, is so I don't have to tear it down and rebuild it once we have corporea, because there is space for the corporeal funnel where the redstone is. And then on top of that will be the redstone and sparks. Okay. Which then we will need to move all of our mana detectors and force relays up 1 block. And then, of course, reconnect them all together. And that's it. Then it will work with corporea. Now, for those of you who have realized this, don't usually do giant farms, and the amount of resources this is going to require both initially and then as we build it. Yeah, when we get into corporea, the amount of stuff we're going to need, it's just going to be pricey. But the way it's made, I can build this layer by layer as I have resources without having to reset anything. Like if we get this built up over time before we have corporea. Yeah, I'm currently in creative showing what I want to build. Yep. It's cool though, isn't it, Maxilla? Yeah. So right now, as this stands, I have to manually go through all of these dispensers and add seeds. Manually. Because this is too compact to be able to get in there and fill up these dispensers with rail carts or something beforehand. So until we can do that with corporea, that's one of our limitations. Other than resources, the fact that we need to make 180 dispensers per layer. Force relays, not so bad. Mana detectors, not so bad. Dispensers, yes, you need that many drums. In fact, I'm short one. You probably missed the explanation, but a drum of the wild will only harvest 32 plants in its range per pulse. And I could have tried just multiple pulsed it, but this is beautiful. Yeah, for real. It only harvests 32 plants within its range each pulse. And we can do that many with 1 pulse of messenger mana. So no worries. The other things that I was working on, I know I already have a bucket filler, that one over there, that uses mana. This one is made, the one that we're using currently is nice, but it will not be a good idea to have in the nether when we need to be collecting lava, because I would have to then get mana over here to run the system, and that means keeping a thermalily alive, which means, yeah, a setup I don't want. So I needed a vanilla mechanism for when we go do lava. Yes, it is a Phantom Messenger composite lens, Maxilla. Yep. So this is lovely, but we're gonna have to retire it. And so I built the one that I was using in my previous playthrough. It's this one right here. You may recognize it. This is made by Danny and Sons in their playthrough. I removed the Hopper Hawk because it was interacting with my other one here. So this one can only do 1 bucket in the dispenser at a time, or it locks up. So if I had like 15 buckets, it would pick up all 15 buckets and then it just would stop working. It needs 1 at a time. So that's a flaw. This one, much more compact, and I augmented it just a little bit because the vanilla version had a dropper elevator to refill, to put the full buckets up higher, you know, so they're all in one spot. This one is by Il Mango, and I modified it to use Britannia. So this is going to be our bucket filler for the Petal Apothecaries and in the nether for doing lava for our thermalilies. So let me just get a stack of buckets. Do have? We don't have space, so make some space. And for those of you who haven't played Floramancer, I just want to remind you, there is infinite lava in the nether intentionally so that we can automate the Thermalily completely. In Vanilla Botania, you cannot fully automate it. Because you can't automate the lava process, you would have to go down and collect your lava buckets and bring them and run your Thermalily for a while. And then go get more buckets. But this pack has infinite lava at the lake level, so that you can automate it. All right, so what we're doing here, what I've got is a hopper hawk picking up empty buckets and full buckets. Empty buckets go in here, full in here, and it will work. It will. So we'll check those down. We got 16, and it just goes through it. Doesn't get stuck. The full ones get placed down here and then get put in here. Which this is the trap chest. It won't, when it's open, I can't put them in there, but and there we go. So, and it's tiny. And I also, need to make sure that the lava here wouldn't be against anything. It could wash away. So we're all good. In the vanilla design, this was there was hoppers going this way and then this way into a dropper elevator, right, going into this chest. I got rid of that because we could do it a lot nicer with less redstone, just using the hopper. And yeah, so there we go. No need for mana whatsoever in this setup. So we'll be replacing the ones we have with that. And I think that's all I've done in the creative world for... This took a long time to build. This took a long time. But yeah. So this giant farm is what we're going to eventually have in our Floramancer. Doing potentially 900 crops each harvest. And there's room for agri-carnations in here. I just don't have them in here, but there's room to speed up the farm with agri-carnations. So. I love Britannia, probably more than most. So yeah. Alright, back to our Garden of Glass world. And yes, today we're going to kind of poke around at things. I don't have enough cobble to make 180 dispensers. I don't have enough string. I don't have enough sticks, probably even redstone. All that stuff. So we're just going to kind of poke at things to try to build up supplies to do one layer of this farm. So that's kind of our goal for now, is to kind of just build up our resources to get one layer done. We're going to probably do wheat because we can use the seeds from here and we can convert the wheat into more seeds. And right now, seeds are our deficit. Because we need so many to make flowers, we need the seeds. Okay? So that's what we're going to work on. I didn't calculate any of this, so it might be fun to actually jot down how much we're going to need as we go along. So, I'm getting pen and paper out so I can write this down, but we're going to need 180 dispensers. Which means we're going to need... unloaded chunks. That's something I should probably craft now. There are chunk loaders in the pack. And yes, I do have problems with unloaded chunks. It's causing my game to crash when these force relays over here half of them get unloaded. If they get half unloaded, they cause a crash. And I have to restart my game. So I need to actually make a chunk loader to prevent them from unloading. And I also probably want to have one over at my mob farm. So, or at least so that it covers my mob farm. So, yep. Got all that funness. To do a chunk loader, let's add it to our to make list. I have it on my to-do list on paper, but I haven't actually done it, so we should do that. But let's sit and calculate real quick how much supplies we need for dispensers. I haven't played with the Corporeal Liar yet. No. Have you, Anima? That's for those of you who don't know, that is a block added by Incorporeal. And most of the blocks in Incorporeal, I just haven't found a use for right now. And it might just be because they're over my head as far as the logic. It's basically a fuzzy filter. So it is a lot like if you need something that requires wood planks and you've got a multitude of different types of wood planks, it'll just pull any of them instead of requiring oak planks. Cool. Good to know. Good to know. When I get to that point, I'll have to try to have that remembered. Yep. Something I would like to figure out, which will probably just take some work, is the frame tinkerer. I am wondering if we can make some of our auto crafting more compact, ones that have only like one item that changes in its crafting, by having a farm tinkerer change what's in the item frame just to configure to use the same crafting setup and just change the one item in it. Now I don't know how it'll work. Oddly, it says in the Lexica that it will replace an item, random item frame in its range. And I don't like the fact that it says random. I'm kind of hoping that it would replace the one next to it, like the Spark Tinkerers do from Britannia. So, yeah, I'd have to test. I haven't tested it. If it does random, that will just screw things up. And why would it be random? So, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, where were we? Dispensers, guys. And this has a different recipe for dispensers. We're doing this one because having to craft bows will be a pain in the rear end. So we need to make droppers, which is 7 cobble per. Shall I get my calculator up? Which mod adds that recipe? Quark. It says recipe by Quark. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, magic. So 180 times 7. We need 1,260 cobblestone. We need 180 redstone. We need 540 string, and the same for sticks. If you've never seen that in mod packs, maybe what's telling us where the recipe comes from is another mod. Who knows, right? Maybe. Maybe. Anyway, I now have what we need. Let's divide this into stacks. 1260 divided by a stack. I'm going to need 20 stacks of cobble. And then 8.5. We'll just round it up to 9 stacks of string and sticks. And boy, will this be a grindy stream. But let's get a chest. Is this one just got just bone meal in it? We're gonna get rid of you. I was using this to... when we had regular grass nearby in order to get tall grass, but you can't bone meal the Britannia grass. So let's just put it in here, and we're gonna use... that's definitely not big enough to hold all of this, everything. We're gonna need way more than one chest. But we're just gonna park chests somewhere that we can start filling up with resources. And let's park it near where we're gonna use it. So we're gonna put it here. And I've got a whopping 4 stacks of cobble. So we're gonna need 20 stacks of cobble. So first, to do that, we're gonna make a hopper hawk, a floating hopper hawk, because I have none over there. And we can turn on the cobble gen and just let it start creating some cobble while we do other things. But we need a hopper hawk to do that. So let's do that first. We need a rune of air. And then upstairs I think I've got either tall grass or redstone roots. Alright. I have a redstone root. I have some tall grass too. We're going to need a pasture seed. Do I have dirt on me? Yep. Alright. Go down. And we're going to need a flower. Oh, I'm going to need gun. I'm going to need glowstone. And I spaced that off. Yeah, I need to. You may not be aware of what the Floramancer pack, what makes it Floramancer. You have to, because they die every hour. It's not just the hydrangeas that die from Britannia. They all die. So I have to automate their creation. Yeah. I don't have my Rod of the Seas on, so... Well, hey, and this is my second season. Alright. My first season, for those of you who watched, you know, I got all the way to the end. I had automated the dandelion, and it was just... I was ready to make things awesome, and then I started having resource problems because I didn't build for function, I built for beauty. And so I started running out of mana, and then running out of supplies and resources, and things just started to get desynced because I was out of things, and it was a mess. So I pretty much rage quit that world after it was 140 VODs, so they're about an hour a piece, so it's 140 live streamed hours. Yeah, that's so much fun to watch. Ooh. Yeah, and I can still make things pretty, and we're gonna make things pretty. But my goal this time is to use things I didn't use last time, and to play like Dem plays, make massive amounts of stuff. So I'm having to learn a different way of playing the game that I usually don't do. I usually don't go, let's see if I can make 10 million of these things. It's usually, let's see how much do you think we're gonna need? Let's make just that amount. Demethan is a friend of mine who plays on the Breakfast Craft servers that we frequent, and he likes to make giant, massive amounts of stuff. So, yeah. Alright, let's go turn on our cobble gen. Yep. So we're learning how to make massive amounts of stuff, but with the caveat of trying to be conservative of some of our resources. Alright, so we have the hopper hawk above the cobble, so we just need to turn you on. Did I... And I need to expand this. Would be a lot helpful if I could expand it. We probably should put a spark on here so that it will go fill up. Yeah, anyway. We're gonna be losing some mana until I can make that bigger, but we haven't even made this one larger either. We need to make this one 4 more longer too. Well, this you're forced to do Britannia only, because the only mods in here that are not quality of life mods are Britannia and Quark. So, which makes it fun because, yeah. My first playthrough, my goal was to learn redstone. I didn't know a lick of redstone, not a single bit of redstone. So I used that world to learn redstone. And I'm not an expert, but I understand it now. So yeah. And then again, this time is to use things that I didn't use the first time around, like force relays. Didn't know what force relays did. To try to min-max our farms. I mean, that's why this farm is so big. It's not all running. That's why there's a bunch of torches. I don't know if we'll ever be able to make this big of an endoflame farm, but there's potential to be this layer all the way up to there. I can put layers. You watched some of my first one, Dem? Yeah, it's been a couple years. Believe it or not, it's been a couple years. Alright, so we have cobble creating. We're making cobble. And the drawer is not upgraded. It can hold 32 stacks before it's full. Alright. Yeah, my first playthrough, if you're interested, Maxzilla, was with World Gen. So it's not Garden of Glass. And yeah, I built underground in a giant massive cave system because the pack adds a mod that creates giant massive cave systems. So I built inside a cave system. So that was cool. All right, cobble's going. I believe we have all of the redstone. If not, I'll need to turn on the ore gen. It's got giant caves. Instead of vanilla Minecraft caves, it has giant caves. I need 20 blocks of redstone. Yeah, the world gen. I wanted the added challenge. Well, okay, it's not exactly the challenge of a Garden of Glass world. I wanted to be able to make massive, large things and not have to deal with world gen. It was just a new, different thing. It does add a few new mechanics to it, being Garden Glass versus world gen. So, yeah, just wanted something different. I mean, I spent a whole year playing the previous Floramancer series on live streams. It took me a year before I rage quit. Oh yeah. Redstone string. We need a lot of string. We need 9 stacks of string. Let's see what we have at the mob farm. This is our original spawn island over here. See how we're doing. We have... Ooh, yay! Ah! Thanks. Go. Just long enough for it to die. 8. We are going to need to recalculate this here a bit. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I did a lot of the tearing at the landscape since I built underground. Yeah. Alright, and then we need a bunch of wood, which we can't really use our farm down here. It's now keeping up with creating charcoal. In fact, I bet our chest is relatively full. Yeah, I'm actually a month and a half behind on the VODs. I've got that many queued up. In order to get to where you are today watching me, that VOD will go up in the middle of March. Yeah, we're doing really good on this. So, yeah, I'm that far. Going. Yep. This is a Nembon design, a vanilla Nembon mob farm. So you can find that it's all vanilla. Well, there's one part that's Britannia. The clock at the top is Britannia instead of a row of redstone repeaters. Yep. I love it. I love how we've come up with what it does, and we're gonna come back over here. It's lovely. Let's go into spectator so I can show you the kill area. So we've got a Vinculotus to trap the teleporting Enderman. I haven't seen any Enderman, but hopefully. And then a Bellthorn, which kills mobs. They should all die from drop, but you know, as you saw, that one skeleton that had armor survived. So that's what the Bellthorn is for, is to kill any mobs, including the Endermen that will get teleported in here. They'll kill them. Now, these mana spreaders have influence lenses on them, which will push items and XP orbs, which is what we're using it for, is to push XP orbs in the direction of the mana burst. So if an XP orb lands out here, it's too far away from the Rosa Arcana range, which that's its range. So the influence lens pushes the XP towards the flower. Yep. Granted, there's one sitting right up here, which, yeah. So that's the way that currently works. And the farm I modified. It was a recommendation by Nembom, but some of these, like these three here, are tall enough for Enderman. The rest of them aren't, but these three are. And I may have to change it so that more than those three, if we're having difficulties getting Ender Pearls before I go to the end. The windmill flower does not push XP orbs. It only pushes items. We tested that in the creative world because, yeah, doing the windmill flower, yeah, the daffodil would have been nice. Yeah, it doesn't push XP. So yeah, up here, instead of a line of redstone repeaters, I just have an hourglass with 30 sand in it. So it's every 30 seconds, it triggers the observer line with dispensers to put water down or pick it up. Yeah, it does. Yeah, because it's water flushing, so that's why the Endermen teleport around, and that's why there's a Vinculotus, in order to catch the Endermen that are teleporting and pull them in. It works great in a Void World. It would work better if this were empty. It would be better if this were empty. It'd be amazingly fast, but it's not. We can't tear this down until I know that, until I can get a decent amount of Ender Pearls from this guy. And we probably haven't gotten a single one if we go over here. Nope, we haven't. Yep, big old cobble cube. Yeah, because this is a mob AI waterless farm that I made at the very beginning in order to get Endermen. So, yep. All right. Down and switch back into survival. All right. So we have the string. Let's check that off. We have the redstone. 540 sticks. This is just my manual tree farm. How are you with Gaia fights? I'm terrible. It's gonna be miserable doing the Gaia fights. I'm kicking my heels at getting to that because I need to kill like 3 Gaia Guardians in order to get to the end. So yeah, I'm kicking my heels at that. Why aren't you growing? What's in the way? Well, that's in the way of that one. Not really sure what's in the way of this one. Oh, you are. There we go. Now you'll probably grow. Yeah. So I need a couple more saplings. So we'll do the dark oak. We'll chop some of that down and hopefully get 7 saplings. Oh no! Dang it. This crash is exactly what you think it is. It's a force relay that desynced. We should make that chunk loader. Yeah. I do know if I don't get chunk... Oop, shoot. If I don't get chunk loaders, I'm gonna have that problem. I have no Terra Steel yet, other than what I used to get the portal created. Yeah. So no tree truncator just yet. I have to make that yet before the Gaia fight, unless I use Elementium armor, which is possible to use. In fact, I think it's one of the things recommended in the Lexica because of its fairy option. The other thing we're going to want is to make the Gaia Guardian Arena have walls. So kitty love, where are my cats? I have no idea where they're sleeping, Dem. Oh! There's a Hermes, just a second. Hey, Bobby. And kitty loves. There you go. Hermes is looking at me like, what's the deal, man? Alright. Not that one, it's this one. Alright. Did we get enough? Oh, see, now I see Heimdall. I have no idea where Atlas is at. But the heat is on, so he's probably parked on a heat vent. Yep, I just found him on top of a heat vent. Well, yes, Terra Steel Armor Maxilla is better in its protection, but I think it's recommending Elementium because of the fairies. You noticed! Yes, all of my cats have names of gods. They always have. except for one that I didn't name. I've had Zeus and a Maximus, which is the one I didn't get to name, and a Loki. Those are all my kitties at the bridge. And then I've got Heimdall and Atlas and Hermes right now. Let's make a chest. We need another chest. And of course, since it's not the same wood, it's not going to connect. But see, I don't play any other games. I think I've played, well, that's not quite true. I've played Stardew Valley, and it's great for relaxing. There's 7, 8, 9. We have enough sticks. Now we're just waiting on the cobble. I have played, not on stream and not for a very long time, I have played Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, and my favorite Final Fantasy, which is Tactics. Oh, it broke. Dang it, why did it must have got unchunk loaded. Because this is supposed to be unbreakable. Oh. That's why I made it, but if it got it got unchunk loaded. Doesn't look like I lost any redstone, just I need to go back to the Nether. Dang it. All right, let's fix it. We have to go back to the Nether. And yeah, it's far enough away. It might have. We need to get that the chunk loaders made. Yeah, my cobble gen, but I made it specifically because it's when it's loaded, it's unbreakable. That's why I made it, because Nembon said it's unbreakable. Yeah. I wonder how long it's been broken. Do I already have a bucket? Probably not. FTB Utilities is not in the pack. Nope. Chicken Chunks is my only chunk loader. And I need to make it. And we mentioned needing to make it at the very beginning of the stream, and I still haven't. So, yeah. Alrighty, here we are, and let's see if we can remember how to get to... Which direction did we go to get there? Not there. I do not remember where our stairway down to lava level went. Where did we do that at? Oh, right here, I think. I have to be very careful because I did not make it very safe. Well, that's interesting. Oh, you get to play different gods from different pantheons in it. Gotcha. Okay. Lava. Alright. Most people that I talk to don't even know that Hermes is a god. They're like, where does the name Hermes come from? Because most people are more familiar with the Roman the Roman name than the Greek. It's not Mercury. Nope. Hermes is Nike in the Roman pantheon. Yeah, should have brought more than one. Nope. Hermes is Nike. Okay. Get rid of you. Alright, fixed. Yes, Nike is the messenger god. He has wings on his feet. He flies around and... yeah. I do. I play multiplayer. Yep. Dem can attest to that. Not as frequently as I used to because I don't have as much time. But... yep. Well, why do you think Nike, the shoe company, picked that name? Because you fly. The swoop is meant to be an artistic wing. Yeah. Okay, so we need to... make that chunk loader. So we're gonna have to grind that out now that we're just waiting on cobble. We need to make a enchantment table, and that requires obsidian. And to make obsidian, we need blaze lamps, which blaze mesh we don't have a whole lot of, so I might need to spawn in some... I need to grab some gunpowder. We need to make some of that, and I need iron bars. Do I have any more? I think I used them up. Well, that makes sense too if you have a male company named Hermes, since he's... seriously, look him up. Messenger god. He's the messenger. He's supposed to go fly really fast. Which is part of the reason why Hermes is named Hermes. Hi, Golden Lion. Nice to see you. Alright, I'm here for gunpowder. Why did I grab that? Dang it, I need you. Alright. Boy, I can't wait to get rid of the spaghetti mess underneath here. Can't wait. Hopefully 2 will be enough. All right. All right, now we're at 46. Well, that's enough. Because we can make 5 obsidian with that. So let's go do that. Is that feature the fell pumpkin in normal and GOG? In normal Garden of Glass, you won't get nearly as much blaze powder. In the Floramancer, it's been modified so that each time you punch it, you get some blaze powder. But yeah, if you kill blazes in Garden of Glass that way, they do show up in it's a Garden of Glass recipe that you can spawn blazes that way. Because in order to get to the Nether, you need these blocks. And in order to get these blocks, you have to come up with blaze powder. They give off light, too. Not as much as a torch, if I remember. Yeah, you have to... I believe even in regular Garden of Glass, you have to... I think you have to punch them in order to get the blaze powder. I'm not sure. If I used a weapon, I wouldn't get as much blaze powder. You'd just get whatever he dropped on death. But punching him to death means you get blaze powder each time you punch him. You get more blaze powder that way. That, I know, is added by Floramancer. Probably the Britannia tweaks mod. Nope, the bore lens does not kill the flowers. And that's just a regular bore lens. There's nothing modified about it. You're learning so much right now. Hi, Darkwing. Hello. Okay. We need books. We need diamonds. I can't think of what else I might need. Well, you can do elaborate ones. In my previous playthrough, I used the tiny planet, and I pushed the circle of stone up and then broke it with a bore warp lens because it would spin around the tiny planet and break the circle. So I only needed one bore lens to break the circle of stone. You can do some fun stuff. Yep. Paper. I don't have sugarcane up here. Okay, we're gonna need what else? Gold. Gold we've got. We're gonna need diamonds. An ender pearl. Eek. I have Golden Lion and I want to get into that. I'm gonna have to watch Direwolf's mod spotlight, and I noticed that Rage Plays Games has started a create series as well, because it looks absolutely crazy, insane, and really cool, and I'd probably love it because of the giant setups of, you know, having to, yeah, and it's very customizable and you can create whatever you want. It's not like this is the only way to make it sort of things. Yeah, it looks like fun. I haven't been able to wrap my head around all of its mechanics. And it might just be because I'm unfamiliar. So, yeah, gotta watch the mod spotlights and stuff. He did just finish it, but he played 0.1 and now 0.3 is very different. We're at sugarcane. I'm like, I knew there was one more thing I needed. He's also started an Astral Sorcery for 1.16 playthrough, which I've been watching as well. Because I love Astral Sorcery. Like, if we could do a Floramancer style pack with Astral Sorcery, which I'm not sure is a thing, but I love Astral Sorcery. Alright, we need... Dang it! Paper, not sugar. Paper. 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 I'll get to 1.16 mods soon enough. This pack is actually what drove me to want to play Minecraft again after a really long break. So, Yeah. All right, so the chicken chunks chunk loader does 3 chunks. Or 9 chunks. It is a 9 chunks. Yeah, it doesn't have any utility. Maybe we could do Britannia and Astral Sorcery together. So if we want to chunk load this area, we're gonna need these two. Oh, we're gonna need more with create. See, I would need to understand create. But you could probably do Astral Sorcery and create. That might be really neat. And we need a chunk. We're gonna need more than one chunk loader. Because we can't get over there. I think what we should do is solve the we need cobble problem first, and then because the crashes don't destroy anything or ruin it, just means I have to restart. We'll take care of this first. You can increase the range. It has settings? What? Well, I know for sure I want this stuff loaded. Oh. Well, let me put it down then and see. Oh. Well, yes, please. And how many chunks? It goes up to 10? Oh, well, yeah, okay. No, you don't have to power the chunk loader. All right, let's do... Right there. And max radius and see where it ends up. Okay, so this is the middle of the chunk. So I want to make sure it goes out to... Am I going to be able to see it? I'm probably out of range of the lasers. It looks like it goes out that far. Well, I may hide it eventually, but I'm going to have to count. So let's count from... This is the center. So 1, 2, and it says a radius. 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit into the 7. So we should be totally fine. Yeah, you can automate quite a bit without using any mana. I mean, all of Corporea really doesn't need mana because it uses a Corporea Spark network. I didn't count. I want to make sure it gets over to the Cobble Gen, which seems to be a little further away. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're fine. 6, 7, and that's still in the chunk, isn't it? Nope, 8. Yep, we're fine. So this should not break. We do have the problem where this is full, so we're losing mana. But yeah, great. Did I shut the lasers off? Or are they still spinning? I think they're still spinning. I'm just out of range of the laser spinning. So let's take care of that. Right, lasers. Woo! Now our whole base is currently loaded. So hopefully we won't have that problem.